Good afternoon, and we are finally starting in the book of Proverbs, or the collection of scrolls called Proverbs. Something I wanted to share before we get started is that we understand that God is the source of all wisdom and truth. We see when we read the collection of Proverbs, God personifying themselves as a teacher, known in some translations as Lady Wisdom. So, as we read through this, you will see the feminine pronoun being used for wisdom, and that's God personifying themselves as a teacher or a young woman teacher. Let's begin. The Proverbs of Solomon, King David's son, from Israel. Their purpose is to teach wisdom and discipline, to help one understand wise sayings. They provide insightful instruction, which is righteous, just, and full of integrity. They make the naive mature, the young knowledgeable and discreet. The wise hear them and grow in wisdom. Those with understanding gain guidance. They help one understand proverbs and difficult sayings, the words of the wise and their puzzles. Wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction. Don't neglect your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful wreath on your head and beads for your neck. My son, do not let sinners entice you. Don't go when they say, "Come with us. Let's set up a deadly ambush. Let's secretly wait for the innocent just for fun. Let's swallow up the living like a grave whole, like those who go down into the pit. We'll find all sorts of precious wealth. We'll fill our house with plunder. Throw in your lot with us. We'll share our money. My son, don't go on the path with them. Keep your feet from their way, because their feet run to evil. They hurry to spill blood. It's useless to cast a net in the sight of a bird, but these sinners set up a deadly ambush. They lie in wait for their own lives. These are the way of all who seek unjust gain. It costs them their lives. Wisdom shouts in the street. In the public square she raises her voice. Above the noisy crowd she calls out. At the entrance of the city gates she has her say. How long will you clueless people love your naivete? Mockers hold their mocking dear, and fools hate knowledge. You should respond when I correct you. Look, I'll pour out my spirit on you. I'll reveal my words to you. I invited you, but you rejected me. I stretched out my hand to you, but you paid no attention. You ignored all my advice, and you didn't want me to correct you. So I'll laugh at your disaster. I'll make fun of you when dread comes over you, when terror hits you like a hurricane, and your disaster comes like a tornado, when distress and oppression overcome you. Then they will call me, but I won't answer. They will seek me, but won't find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. They didn't want my advice. They rejected all my corrections. They will eat from the fruit of their way, and they will be full of their own schemes. The immature will die because they turn away. Smugness will destroy fools. Those who obey me will dwell securely, untroubled by the dread of harm. My son, accept my words and store up my commands. Turn your ear toward wisdom and stretch your mind toward understanding. Call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding. Seek it like silver, search for it like hidden treasure. Then you will understand the fear of the Lord and discover the knowledge of God. The Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He reserves ability for those with integrity. He is a shield for those who live a blameless life. He protects the paths of justice and guards the way of those who are loyal to him. Then you will understand righteousness and justice, as well as integrity, every good course. Wisdom will enter your mind, and knowledge will fill you with delight. Discretion will guard you, understanding will protect you. Wisdom will rescue you from the evil path, from people who twist their words. They forsake the way of integrity and go on obscure paths. They enjoy doing evil, rejoicing in their twisted evil. Their paths are confused, they get lost on their way. Wisdom will rescue you from the mysterious woman, from the foreign woman with her slick words. She leaves behind a partner of her youth. She even forgets her covenant with God. Her house sinks down into death, and her paths go down to the shadowy dead. All those who go with her will never return. They will never again reach the way of the living. So you should stay on the path of good people, guarding the road of the righteous. Those who have integrity will dwell in the land. The innocent will remain there. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous will be ripped up. And what we have here for day 157. There is such a thin line between God-fearing and walking the way of evil. The opening of Proverbs reminds us that it is only in seeking wisdom outside us from God, rather than trusting in oneself alone, that we can be faithful. We will see you tomorrow for more.